there are two types of contact training methods, the stop method and the running method. When it comes to both methods, the most common question is, can I train my dog on both? And the answer is yes. Absolutely, you can. For those who may be newer to agility, so let's go ahead and talk about why they are called the stopped and the running contact methods. The stop method trains the dog to consistently stop in a specific position at the end of the contact zone. A common myth for the stop method is that it can cause excessive physical stress on a dog's front end. And where this comes from is because when the stop contact first came out 20 years ago, it was initially taught by encouraging dogs to put all of their weight on the front end. Later, I'm going to talk about how this too has evolved into something much safer. All right, Stacy.
So for the running method, the basics of it is that you are training the dog to hit a specific part of the contact zone while in full extended motion. It does have criteria, and that's important as we go into the common myths. And with that, the biggest common myth that I see is if there is no stop, it's a running. And while, yes, I guess you can define that to be true, the fact that it does actually need to be trained and have criteria that you can explain to the dog so that they're aware of what their job is, and that's important.
So both methods, you should definitely avoid this. Turning your dog into a lawn dart, and that's where all of the weight is shifted onto that front end, jamming their shoulders. And let me go ahead and show you an example. Here's a picture of a dog, and as you can see, the rear end is up off the board and the weight is shifted to the front end like a lawn dart. Stacy, I think you have an expert tip here.
I do. This is true for both the stopped and the running. It is important to train clear criteria, and that is so that the dog is fully aware of what you expect them to do. And dogs, believe it or not, if they have been taught criteria, they will do their absolute best to meet that criteria in the trial environment.
Awesome. All right, so there are 5 things the stop and running methods have in common. First, both methods rely on criteria, as Stacy mentioned. Criteria is a principle or standard by which something may be judged or decided. And we're going to talk about this more later. All right, second, in both the stopped and the running methods, to truly achieve success, a dog needs to work independently and not be dependent on the handler's position. So, dogs that are forward focused and will drive ahead independently, and a dog that has obstacle commitment skills and can drive to the obstacle on command is ideal. All right, so third, both methods use pause as part of the contact criteria. Different systems use different pause. So for example, the stop method has approximately 4 options, with the 2 on, 2 off being the most popular.
And with the running, you most commonly see rewarded the 2 rear feet hit on the target. And that is the most common.
Awesome. Then next, both methods use a location as to where those paws should touch. So for the stop method, having the front paws on the ground and the rear paws on the lower 1/3 of the contact zone is one of the preferred locations. 4 on the floor is another.
And for the running, you want them to make contact with the target that is going to be placed on the lower 1/3 of the contact zone.
All right. So both methods also require some pre-planning to determine how the handler will see the criteria of, the criteria meaning the correct number of paws in the correct location, and to make sure that it's been achieved so they can also reward that. So when it comes to the stop method, you'll need to be in a position to confirm all of the required paws are in one place. Even in a stationary position, dogs can inadvertently step out of place with a single paw. When it comes to delivering the reward, pre-planning the delivery can encourage dogs to remain in place until given the release word.
And with the running, one of the things to plan is how do you see the criteria? There's several methods for this. Do you visually need to be able to see it yourself? Do you have a training partner that can help see it? And are you using an electronic sensor pad that will beep, or there's some that light up that will let you know when the dog has made contact with the target? And then the same concepts with the stop as far as delivering the reward. Are you using food? Are you tossing it? Are you feeding out of your hand or using a food machine? And then of course, toys are also an option. Are you throwing a toy? Is there a dead toy placed? Is it a tug toy out of your hand? All of those things are options for rewarding as well.
All right, so whichever method you choose, as a trainer and especially a judge, the biggest mistake I see handlers make in the ring is letting the criteria slide. Got your attention? More secrets at spotonagility.com/contact training.